Hello and welcome to another edition of the COE Video Learning Series. My name is Dwight Pullen. I'm the Assistant Vice President for Compliance, and I'm going to talk to you today about maintaining your approved program list. And I need to be talking to you if you are a public institution, a non-public institution, a registered apprenticeship institution, or a Job Corps institution, because all of you guys have to maintain that approved program list. Our learning objectives, being an old teacher, I like to do learning objectives. We're going to review what constitutes an occupational program. We're going to be able to locate and navigate the approved program list in Edvera. We're going to review the type of changes and how to request them. We're going to understand the approval process and review some helpful tips. Our program's framework. Let's talk about an occupational program. An occupational program is one that prepares a student for employment or job advancement. Occupational programs can be of any length. It includes job upgrade training offered with the goal of providing persons in specific occupations with the credentials, knowledge, and skills needed for career advancement. It doesn't matter if those programs are Title IV eligible or not. Ask yourself, if a student successfully completes this program, will he or she be eligible for employment or job advancement based on the skills and knowledge learned in the program? If the answer is yes, it is an occupational program and needs to be on your approved program list. Let's talk about the approved program list. When the approved program list begins, it's established for each campus once an institution is accepted as a candidate for accreditation. The programs are initially provided by the institution in the candidate application. No changes are permitted until the commission grants initial accreditation to the institution. How do you locate your program? You can go to the council's website and click on Edvera in the top right-hand corner. You log into Edvera using your username and password. Your institutional dashboard will appear, and you can see the various things that you can look at, your profile, locations, programs, and so forth. In this case, you're going to want to click on programs. When you do, your approved program list is going to appear, and you can review it to make sure it matches what you're actually doing. Access to the approved program list. Your chief administrator of the institution has access to all information in Edvera. The chief administrator can invite other staff to Edvera and assign the permissions from their Edvera account. Please notify COE if your institution has a change in chief administrator and/or your COE liaison. Please notify COE if your email addresses change. Let's talk about maintaining the list. Ensure that the program name, length, delivery mode, and campus locations match your state approval. Ensure that programs with no enrollment within 12 months are deleted from the list. Add new programs that have been approved by the state authorization agency. Most programmatic changes are substantive changes. Changes are only completed using the COE applications or mini form, and attempting to make changes on the annual report will not update your approved program list. Common types of changes. New programs, non-degree, can be added. You can add new programs that have an applied science degree. You can add a new program that is a change of scope. It's something different from what you normally offer. You can change an existing program, changing the program length, the name, or the mode of delivery. You can delete a program that no longer has students enrolled. You can change your number of clock hours or credit hours. You can apply for institutional distance education. You can do teach out of programs if you no longer plan to teach them. You can do replication or relocation. And you can apply for contractual agreements to teach your courses by some other institution. Requesting changes, you must receive approval from your state authorization agency first. Submit the request in Advera with supporting documentation no later than 90 days prior to the change being implemented. There's a chart of substantive changes on page 38 and 39 of the 2024 Handbook for Accreditation. Please make sure that you are familiar with those pages. I recommend you actually copy them and keep them in a desk drawer so you can retain them quickly. The COE staff will review many programmatic changes in applications, but the Commission has the prerogative to review any changes. The approved program list will be updated and a confirmation letter will be issued after approval is granted. Okay, let's talk about the timeline for COE staff approval. First of all, you're going to get your state agency's approval, and once you receive that, you can move forward. There are a few states that license by means of accreditation. That means your state wants you to get COE approval first. We know which states those are, so be sure that you note that on your application, and we will grant approval first. But all other states will want to see that state approval. You'll need to submit the COE application. So you submit it, make sure you have all the documentation that it requires, and do that no later than 90 days prior to the change being implemented. The COE staff will provide review and feedback. Allow the staff 60 days to review and approve completed program applications. Notice completed is underlined. A completed application contains all the necessary information and documentation. And then you'll have approval confirmation. COE approval letter will be issued to the chief administrator and the COE liaison. The approved program list will be updated in Advera. Requesting changes that require commission approval. The program changes that require commission approval is institutional distance education delivery, and it'll have a virtual site visit within 180 days, and also contractual agreements for instruction. They don't require a site visit. You will submit the COE application and/or mini form with the supporting documentation by the substantive change application deadline. Deadlines are posted on the Council website under Institutions and Application Due Date. The pre-list for the Department of Education has to be published 30 days before a commission meeting. So we set those application deadline dates 4 to 5 weeks before the commission meeting. So make sure you are following those guidelines. The commission grants initial approval. And if a site visit is required, it will occur within 180 days of approval. The commission timeline for approval. You have the state authorized agency approval. You meet the COE application deadline. Make sure you have all the supported documentation in the application by the due date. Commission will grant initial approval. And once initial approval is granted, you will go ahead and start the program. Then a site visit will be conducted if needed, and it will be done within 180 days of the initial approval. After the site visit is completed, the commission will review the application and site visit report and will grant final approval, deny the request, or defer the application for a future meeting. Requesting changes that require site visits. Institutional distance education delivery requires commission approval and a virtual site visit within 180 days. The change of programmatic scope is done by staff approval but still requires an in-person site visit within 180 days of initial approval. Let's talk a little bit about the moratorium on substantive changes. No substantive changes are permitted, even programmatic changes, during this moratorium. It begins 6 months prior to hosting a reaccreditation of visiting team, and it ends when the institution has been granted reaffirmation of accreditation. Common factors affecting approval. The status with the council. If you are on a probationary or show cause status, your application will not be considered. Multiple substantive changes. Those requiring commission approval or site visits will only be taken one at a time. If you have outstanding invoices, if you owe the council some sort of fee or something, and that invoice is more than 60 days old, your application will not be considered. Or if you are in the moratorium stage. Helpful tips. Share this information with other staff. They can help keep up with these requirements. You can't do it all by yourself. Print the chart of substantive changes from the handbook and post it near your desk. Remember, page 38 and 39. It can help remind you of all types of changes that require notice or application to COE. Remember that the information on the COE list of approved programs must be identical to information you publish to your constituents, the information on your state approvals, and to information you provide the U.S. Department of Education and other agencies for the purpose of funding. When to review the list. Place a note to include a review of the entire program list on your advisory committee meeting agendas. Committees should be meeting once a year, and this can help keep the list in the forefront while you review and plan. When you receive your accreditation certificate in June or July, let that be a reminder to log in and check your list. When you get a notice from the council of an upcoming accreditation visit, review the list and review it before your 6-month moratorium kicks in so that you will have the opportunity to correct it. And don't wait until the annual report software is released to check the program list. A lot of schools notify us that their program list is not correct when they're filling out those annual reports. Thank you and have a wonderful day.